My name is Nelly Lovchikova, and I am a solutions architect here at AWS. I am delighted to be here with you to talk about developer productivity and challenges associated with them. Despite being a solutions architect right now, I have about 20 years of coding behind me. I was working for dozens of projects in various tech stacks. I had projects in Delphi, Visual Basic, many .NET gigs, Node.js engagements, and most recently, I've been coding for cloud. I also have interest in DevOps and automation. So, today, I want to talk about IDE, Integrated Development Environment. And what is it exactly? Well, the definition would be IDE is a set of software tools that make software production possible and hopefully enjoyable. The minimum set of tools are code editor, so text editor with syntax highlight, and ideally with some sophistication for static code analysis. Build automation, so you press a magic combination of buttons and your English gets compiled to binary. And the debugger, so you can fix this elusive bug. Of course, introduce few more. Nah, not really. And there are also other parts. Perhaps you want some Git integration, perhaps UI design helper, maybe class browser. Is IDE important? Oh yeah. From my experience, there is a direct correlation between how well my IDE helped me to be productive and how much I enjoy my job. When I enjoy my job, I can produce better features. It is like playing a well-tuned piano, pure joy. During the last few decades, the fashion of different tools changed. Some stacks, for example, .NET, comes with Visual Studio IDE. And being a .NET developer at some point, I don't think I was using more than 50% of it. It has so many features, but it also requires you to actually do a multi-hours course to learn how to use it. There are other breeds of IDE that is highly extensible, and they originally come with limited tooling, but you can install myriad of extensions and make it to do whatever you want. And I'm actually not happy with both. First breed is hard to navigate. And second, seems very attractive if you work in the same sort of technology all the time. However, I work and experiment a lot in various stacks. And it is hard to have a local environment that can do, for example, React plus .NET development, but also supports my data science experimentation in Python. And I want it all. I want my tool to be simple but smart, flexible, and adaptable. And I was searching for this magic tool for a while now. So let me introduce you Cloud9. Because every great platform has great IDE. Cloud9 is a fully managed IDE, which is specifically designed for the cloud development. You can write, build, and write and debug code right there. Why we build a new IDE? We struggle with existing approaches. It is very much common to have development machine and production hardware to be completely different. And we all know this phrase. It works on my machine. No more of that. Now you're able to work in the same or close enough environment your application is going to run. Also, local machines don't scale very much. They can break, lost, or be stolen. And it is very hard to steal a virtual machine. Setting up a machine for different projects and technologies stack is a nightmare. I wish I have a machine per project, but I honestly couldn't afford it. And also, then I need to manage all of them. I don't want that. And collaboration is hard. Looking over each other's screens does not scale well, especially in a few different regions. Screen sharing tools is not that simple and definitely not secure. Serverless, it is quite new and tooling is not there yet. If you try to search how to debug Lambda, you will notice there are a lot of workarounds, but there is no unified solution that works for everybody. With Cloud9, we address those concerns. It is accessible from any machine that supports modern browser. You can have the same experience on Mac, on Linux, on Windows, on tablet PC, even phone, Android or iOS. It doesn't really matter. Instead of buying hardware, installing plugins, configuration, key in production machine, now you have single step. Create environment that takes few minutes. And here we go. Grab first ticket and start coding. With AWS Cloud9, you can easily code together. And also can chat, share terminal, and see what other people doing. The other cool application of collaboration feature is to teach others. They can follow your lead or just look around your code. Have a full control of AWS Lambda. I'm going to demonstrate it today how to create and run Lambda right there in the cloud. Without any cumbersome scaffolding, all tools already installed. No credentials setup required. And it is an important part. Do you know that one of the most popular reasons for security issues is when somebody published access key and secret into public Git repository. No more of that. Because there is no point to store credentials locally. There is even integrated terminal. Again, you do not need to enter any credentials. I migrated to AWS Cloud9 some time ago, but I have my notes about things that impressed me the most, and I'm going to share. Setup is different. We used to download package and then go through installation and configuration process. That is not how things work here. Let me show you the simplest way to set up an environment. Here I am on my account. I can just type Cloud9 in the search box. Otherwise, Cloud9 is grouped together with other developer tools, and you can find it down there, and it's there. You press this big orange button, give it a name. Also, you can give it a description. For example, project to conquer the world. Just joking. Next. For now, I'm just going to create EC2 instance for my new environment. As you can see, Cloud9 is eligible for AWS free tier. Cost saving, selecting 30 minutes, means if you're inactive for 30 minutes, it turns your virtual machine off and automatically, and you no longer pay for it. So we're creating new environment. And here I use my advanced technique to change time and speed it up a little bit. In real life, it takes few minutes. Here we go. Our development environment up and running. Lesson 1. I can do the same thing just with one command. I'm going to use AWS Cloud Shell. If you don't know, it is your cloud terminal in the cloud. Sorry for that. Here I asked Cloud9 to create me an environment with hello world from CLI name, and I want instance type T3 micro. I haven't edited this timeline. As you can see, it created very fast. Here you can see it. It's already there. This is a lesson for hardcore coders, as you are. You can model your development environment in a code and deploy it. I'm going to use AWS Cloud Development Kit, or AWS CDK, which is an infrastructure as a code solution. This actually will give you a lot of scaling, because AWS CDK allows you to create components. So you can define your environment and supporting infrastructure, for example, storage, networking, so on. And then you can reuse it. What is the use case? I would imagine a highly organized team where a newly hired developer doesn't need to spend hours and days to configure their workplace, but rather can be productive from the day one because everything already done for them. Let me show you an example of how to use CDK to define a development environment. I'm going to demonstrate a very basic example, but you could build much more complex infrastructure. It is very much depends on your requirements. Can you see what I've done here? This is our AWS Cloud9 environment. Yes, I'm going to use Cloud9 to create more Cloud9 environments. Here I created CDK project, and all scaffolding is already done for me. I use CDK init command where I specified programming language and give an application a name. First, I imported default VPC, so my environment has access to internal resources. And after that, I model my environment to be part of this VPC, and I selected an instance type T3 large. Now I'll walk you through deployment. First of all, I'm going to build this project, and then command CDK to deploy it. While it's getting deployed, in the back, CDK synthesizes CloudFormation template and deploys resources defined in this template. As you can see, it's just a few lines of code, and you can copy and paste and create as many environments as you need. Here you see our newly created Cloud9 environment is there, defined right in the TypeScript. Lesson 3. This is very hard and expensive thing to do when you have raw metal machine. But when you're virtual, it's just few clicks away. I'm talking about adding more CPUs and memory. Here, I'm going to demonstrate how you can power up your development environment in just a few minutes. First, I'm opening my details to check the current parameters. As you can see, it's T2 micro that features only one CPU and 1 gigabit of memory. I'm going to navigate to an instance. It moved me to EC2 settings screen. where I need to select my instance. And going to Actions, I can change the instance type. And I'm going to select T3 extra large. I also can select types optimized for high compute usage or for memory-demanding applications. Just remember, you need to stop your instance before making such changes. Now, when I start my environment, it has, wow, 16 gigabits of memory and 4 CPUs. I'm going to code so many bugs. No, features. Not only memory or CPU can be added. You can have more space. You can do it from instance settings. But you can as well just run a command from inside of your environment, and I'll show you how. Let me open my environment and find out how much storage do I have. I'm going to use df command to check the disk space. So there we go, I have 10 gigabytes drive. Now I'm going to switch to AWS documentation for Cloud9 and copy a bash script. This documentation has a lot of details, and I highly recommend to check it. So I copied this bash script, and now I'm going to create a new file, paste their script, save it, and then I'm going to run it. This script is required parameter, and parameter is going to be how many gigabits of storage I want. There we go. So it's running very fast, and yeah. No, that's different command. Yep, you see, now I have 20 gigabits to use. I am a big fan of pair programming. What could be better to bounce ideas and just, work with smart people together? In the next demo, I'm going to show some features on how that can be accomplished. Disclosing, on this demo, John is also me. Here you see, John is there and chatting with me. I can click on John and ask to open whatever John has opened it right now. And here you see, he opened terminal. And when I'm going to do it again, John going to move to code. And I can see what John is doing right now in real time. This purple is John's color, and everything purple means John's. We can collaborate together and code. Also, I can follow John for educational reasons. And if I'm going to write any code there, John is going to see the orange cursor, and he knows that there is Nelly somewhere. Lesson 6. I'm personally super excited about this one. With AWS Cloud9, you can access your full environment from any device that supports web browser. Once, I had a great idea, but it hit me right in the middle of nowhere. And here I am, with my phone only, coding on my development machine and having the same experience. It is a developer dream. Lesson 7. Serverless is quite a new beast. We define serverless architecture as a way of build and run applications and services without having to manage infrastructure. Your application still runs on servers, but all the server management is done by AWS. And it makes a lot of sense to create and debug application in the same environment it's going to work. I'm going to show you how you can create Lambda function using AWS Cloud9 and SAM. SAM is a serverless application model. And I'm going to demonstrate how you can run it in exactly the way it's going to be run in production. Here's my environment. I select AWS Toolkit and press Create Lambda. The wizard is going to ask me questions about what kind of Lambda and environment I want. I am going to give it a name. And it is going to give me all scaffolding I need to create a Lambda function. It gives me CloudFormation template and basic code for function. Notice SAM is already pre-installed for me in Cloud9, so I don't have to install this package. And now I'm going to go to my terminal and ask SAM to build it. It's gonna take a little bit time, but and I'm not gonna speed up it really. It's relatively fast. And then I'm gonna ask for guided deploy. And I'm mostly gonna select default options. Yep, I really like that it's gonna show in the green. It gives me a list of resources it's going to provision for me. When it's all done, I would go and refresh my list of lambdas. So here I'm going to AWS Toolkit and refresh it. And here it is. Now I want to invoke it. And it's going to open me a window for invocation. And it's invoked. And let me open the source code so we can compare what we expect. And here we go. That's exactly the functionality we expected. Lesson 8. You see, terminal was always a big thing for development. Terminal sometimes feels like ability to have a conversation with your tools. Not that I do it often, but sometimes. Well, this particular terminal is an ability to talk to my AWS account, where it all configured so you can just use it. You're already familiar with the terminal. Here, I'm going to invoke the same lambda we built in the previous demo. So ask to list all my lambdas, and then I'm going to invoke the one we just created. It's going to output response in a file, which is handy. I use terminal for all my AWS account interactions. Lesson 9. You notice some of my demos are light and some are dark. It is really easy to switch colors. Let me show you. There is your welcome page. It has some documentation and also easy way to change an appearance of your environment. AWS Cloud9 is quite flexible. It supports various shortcuts themes. For example, Vim, Emacs, Sublime, or you can configure your own. And here my favorite shortcut, Command P. It allows you to search everything, files, shortcuts, tabs, commands. This is very, very powerful magic. AWS Cloud9 is a wonderful product, and I highly recommend to try. And I'll promise you will fall in love with that. AWS Cloud9 is very easy to set up. There are multiple ways how you can do so. There are a lot of rooms for automation and scalability. You have a full control of what is happening in your environment and how it behaves. You can code on any machine, and you can connect Bluetooth keyboard to your TV and do coding with a style. It's designed for the cloud, so you can build a cloud application that runs in a cloud. The last one is collaboration. With AWS Cloud9, you can share your development environment with your colleagues and collaborate over code, learn from them, and achieve even more. Are you already spinning up your environment? If not, what are you waiting for? Accelerate your cloud journey by checking out the featured courses to build your cloud skills on AWS. Or visit the link below to explore over 550 free digital training courses. You will be able to find courses or different products and skill sets. Just go to aws.amazon.com/training. Thank you again for attending. And we really appreciate your feedback so that we can better understand the topics and services you would like to know more about. So please, do take the time to fill out the survey and let us know what you think, and go build!